Let's be honest. Even though the Bible tells us that Jesus has made shalom, we continue to experience a lot of non-shalom. The world is still not as it should be. Life is stressful and tough. The world is unjust and unfair. Life is filled with want and hurt. What are we supposed to do with this tension? How are we supposed to live with the dual realities of what Jesus has already accomplished and what we are always experiencing? The Christian experience of shalom is held in an already and not yet tension. Jesus has already made peace by his blood, but we have not yet experienced the fullness of that peace in our world. Jesus has already defeated death by his death and resurrection, but our world has not yet experienced the final outworking of that victory. The New Testament authors recognize this already and not yet tension, and they don't shy away from talking about it. They tell us that we are to live in this tension by patiently fixing our eyes on the coming of the Lord. Christ is coming back to fully, finally, and completely establish shalom. Fixing our eyes on his final restorative work, we are called to exercise patience as we eagerly await the new creation. This is what Paul is urging us to do when he says, "And not only the creation, but we ourselves who have the first fruits of the Spirit, groan inwardly as we wait eagerly for adoption as sons, the redemption of our bodies." The Bible presents us with a final vision of shalom that is overwhelmingly beautiful. We are told that at the end of time, God's desire to dwell harmoniously with humans in the midst of a flourishing creation will be fulfilled. Pain is no more. Death is dead. All things are made new. In other words, God finishes what he starts. The Shalom project launched at creation has not been abandoned. It was picked up and fulfilled by Jesus, and it will finally be revealed in an end-time new creation. God's kingdom will come, and we will experience universal flourishing, wholeness, and delight, a rich state of affairs in which natural needs are satisfied and natural gifts fruitfully employed. All that is wrong will be made right. All that is broken will be made whole. All that is crooked will be made straight. Inequality, injustice, discrimination, prejudice, hatred, these and all of the effects of the fall will be erased. God wins the day and gets what he wants and what our hearts long for. Shalom. We have seen the beginning and end of the story. But what about where we live now, the middle? We don't experience shalom in the present. We live in a fallen world, but we are excitedly confident that one day we will experience full, lasting shalom because God will recreate the world. Through the rest of this curriculum, we will be exploring how shalom is practically played out in our world today. How do Christians, driven by the good news, by the free gift of salvation through Jesus Christ, pursue shalom in their communities and neighborhoods? Christians have sometimes been nervous about this area, thinking that somehow getting involved in works of mercy and compassion will take us away from the gospel call to make disciples of all nations. I hope you will see over the coming weeks that not only does the gospel demand our involvement in works of mercy and compassion, but that it is also an integral part of our witness to a world that is hungry for the love and grace of Christ we have received. Both of these matter, and both are intimately connected to each other. The world is not as it should be, but by the transforming work of the gospel, Christians are called to bear witness to how the world will be in light of the fact that our gracious and compassionate God is on the throne.